Wait! Plan B! This is for everyone you've killed! England murderer!
Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
What?
Hey everybody, and welcome back. So, I found this courtesy of a Fox News article, and I wanted to do a response to it because this woman released this 11-minute long FaceTime video that complained about a racist traffic cop that pulled her over, and basically claimed that she was bullied, threatened to be pulled out of the car, yada yada. But the body cam footage tells a different story. Now you may be wondering why I'm addressing this when the Fox News article basically told you everything you needed to know about it. Well, I wanted to respond to a number of points that she makes in her original video because of the entitlement of this woman and the harmful ideas that she puts forward about the police.
Hi everybody, this is Dawn.
Oh, hey Dawn. How's your day going?
I just was threatened by this police officer.
This is the police! We have you surrounded, Mr. Bug!
I'm driving. I typically would not drive and do a FaceTime video.
You can tell right away how smart she is, considering she just got pulled over for speeding, which is illegal, and is now doing a FaceTime video while driving and holding the phone, which is illegal.
But I am I'm in Virginia.
Okay, Virginia. Got it right here.
But I'm on this route called 58 West.
Okay, and she is on US 58, somewhere between here and here, because the cop stopped her in Brunswick County.
And I have had a traumatic experience.
Traumatic my ass.
And I want the people who are not African American, who know me, to really get where we're coming from. Every time, when I saw the police pull up behind me, the state trooper, I was immediately afraid. I was on the phone with my cousin Patrice, and I had her on speaker, because I was on Bluetooth, I'm in the car.
Well, at least you were smart enough to not hold the phone while you were talking.
You know, we shouldn't be afraid to drive and get pulled over by the police.
Well then, quit listening to the mainstream media that tells you to be afraid of the cops if you're black. That's the problem.
And I'm sorry that I'm upset, but I don't get upset too much. Usually I get angry. I don't get afraid.
Yeah, but in this case, tears are going to get you more victim points because the poor little black woman got pulled over by the racist white cop.
We're supposed to arrest those black people!
But, you know, and I protested a lot. I'm 50, but when I'm in my day, I would say, I did a lot of protesting and a lot of fighting just so things like this would not happen to us.
Are you saying that you protested so that you wouldn't have to be held accountable to the law just because you're black? Because in the context of the police video that was released, that's what you're complaining about right now.
But I get pulled over by this white cop.
Woohoo! I found the problem! White cop. That's the whole reason this is a problem. White cop.
And I asked him what the stop was for. And he told me the 7-mile-an-hour difference, or whatever this was, and the speed difference.
Well, I got your back. I got the dash cam video from the cop, so let's see what you got pulled over for.
Yeah, the reason I'm stopping you, I clocked you at 70. Speed limit here is 55.
That's right. 70 in a 55. That is a 15-mile-an-hour difference.
I saw no traffic signs, by the way. No traffic signs by the time I stopped at a convenience store to get a banana.
Ba 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 na na.
And by the time I had gone to where he immediately pulled me over when he saw me.
I can hear the tone in her voice trying to imply that she got pulled over because she was black. And she's going to completely ignore the fact that it's because she was doing 15 over the limit.
The cop comes back with the ticket. I'm on the phone with my cousin. She's saying stay calm. I'm nervous. Having both hands on the wheel. Feeling all afraid.
You know, judging by your actions in the video from the cop, I don't believe that you were actually afraid. And I don't see why you were afraid in the first place. According to this, you were doing everything correctly. You were keeping your hands where the cop could see him. He didn't feel threatened at all, at least until you started being belligerent.
He comes back, and when he comes back, he gives me the ticket. And I said, so this is not a warning ticket, so that I didn't see any signs. There were no signs. He said, well, you can go back and look for signs.
Okay, let's take another look at that map image I showed you. Okay, so US 58 is labeled as an other multi-lane highway. I've also personally been on this road. That means it's just a common 4-lane highway. It's not an interstate. It's not a freeway. Now, under Virginia state law, the speed limit on secondary highways caps at 55 miles per hour in rural areas. Now, this law is put into place and is supposed to be known to drivers so that if you get on a road and you don't see an immediate speed limit sign indicating the speed limit is other than the cap, you can assume that the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So the fact that you didn't see any signs is irrelevant, especially due to the fact that you were going 70 in a 55, and 70 miles an hour speed limits are only allowed on the interstate. You're not on an interstate.
So, he said, well, you'll need to sign this ticket.
And here's where the problem comes into place.
I said, I won't be signing the ticket, but I'll take the ticket. He said, no, you'll need to sign the ticket. I said, I don't agree.
Yeah, well, the law doesn't care if you agree or not. You're supposed to follow it.
I'll abide by the ticket, but I'm not gonna put my signature on that ticket. And he said, well, if you don't put the signature on this ticket, I'll pull you out of the car, and then I'll arrest you and I'll impound the car.
Now, what exactly does the cop say about her signing the ticket?
I hire an attorney.
Need you to sign right here?
I'm not gonna sign that ticket.
Ma'am.
I don't agree.
Okay.
But I don't have to sign it.
So, ma'am.
But I appreciate it.
Hold on. All right. So, what you're signing here is a promise to either come to court or a promise to prepay. It's not an admission of guilt. It's only a promise to me that you're going to get it taken care of by either coming to court or prepaying it. If you refuse to sign the summons at this point, I'm going to have to get you outside of the police car, outside of this car. I'm going to place you under arrest and take you in front of the magistrate. I will get your vehicle towed and go from there. So, yes, ma'am, you do not have a choice. You have.
On the phone.
I don't care about that. You do not have a. I don't care who's on the phone. I'm talking to you right now. You do not have a choice but to sign the summons.
Like he said, it's not an admission of guilt, it's just a promise to him that you're going to take care of the ticket. And it is required under Virginia law for you to sign it. So, the fact that you disagreed with the fact that you had to sign it doesn't fucking matter. You still have to sign it. This whole thing is stemming from the fact that you're pissed off that you were told what to do.
So, my cousin immediately puts her voice from the seat that says, don't I sign the ticket?
Good, your cousin's a smart person. And I'm gonna hope that she said that out of rolling her eyes behind the phone and being like, why aren't you doing what the cop tells you? You're the one that broke the law.
Because my natural instinct, for anybody who knows me, knows that I do not like to be told what to do.
And there we have it. I don't like being told what to do. That just means you're a self-entitled bitch. It doesn't matter if you don't like being told what to do. If a cop pulls you over and the cop gives you orders, you do what the cop tells you. A cop is an authority figure.
I abide by the law, I'm respectful of the law, but you can't make me sign a ticket.
A self-contradicting sentence. I abide by the law, I follow the law, but I won't sign a ticket. That you're supposed to sign by law.
So I went ahead and signed the ticket only because I was immediately afraid, and he looked like he was ready for me to pull me out of the car.
Well, of course he's preparing. You're being belligerent. You're refusing to do what he tells you.
Taser him!
Therefore, he needs to prepare for whatever outcome may happen. He doesn't know if you're gonna grab a gun.
He's got a gun!
Oh, God!
He doesn't know if you're just gonna put the car in drive and floor it.
He's resisting arrest!
Oh, stop it!
He doesn't know what you're gonna do. And I've seen enough cop shows, and my family also works in law enforcement enough to know that you could do a lot of different things that put his life in danger.
He's got another gun!
Oh!
That's why he was preparing. He didn't know what you were gonna do.
He didn't say, I'll ask you to step out of the car. He said, I'll pull you out of the car.
Quit lying, we heard the fucking tape.
If you refuse to sign the summons at this point, I'm going to have to get you outside of the police car, outside of this car. I'm going to place you under arrest.
And I just want to show you what area I'm in. This is the area I'm in the middle of this kind of stuff. This is where I am. So it's not like I'm not afraid, because this is where we got lynched.
That is such a bullshit statement. And you're standing on the graves of the people who were tragically lynched, trying to compare it to a traffic stop where you broke the law. You breaking the law is not comparable to a bunch of innocent people getting lynched because of their skin color. You selfish bitch.
But, I was literally afraid that he was going to pull me out of the car, impound my car, and I'd be Sandra Bland.
For those of you that don't know, Sandra Bland had an encounter with the police. She was arrested and taken to jail, and she later hung herself in the cell. From what I could find, it was over a charge about as stupid as this one that she's crying about. So basically what she's saying here is that if she hadn't signed the ticket, she probably would have been dragged out of the car, arrested, and then she would have hung herself in a cell.
Now, why do any of my white friends know me ever? Did anybody ever feel like that when they get pulled over? Are they afraid that they're never going to come home or see anybody else? Why do only African Americans and people of color know what I'm going through right now?
You're not going through anything right now. You were put in place because you wanted to be belligerent to somebody who has an authority over you.
I signed a ticket, and he said, I knew you'd do the right thing, and then he patted the side of the car. And he said, have a great day.
That bastard!
He said, I knew you'd sign it. You know, kind of sarcastically. It was a very controlling, bullying experience.
It was not a bullying experience, you whiny bitch.
And no one should threaten to pull me out of a car.
Well then do what you're fucking told.
Yeah.
So, we shouldn't have to experience this.
Well, if you obey the law, you won't have to deal with that problem in the first place.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, not just for me. I'm 50 years old. I've been through this many times. Everybody I know that's African American has been through this at least one time, if not 10.
Everybody has been through a common traffic stop. The only difference is most people actually do what the officer tells them to do.
You know, we're in such a rock and a hard place. You want to be strong and you want to fight against injustice, but then you also don't want to be dead.
Fight against what injustice? You broke the law!
You don't want to get pulled over, car impounded, pulled out of a car just because you don't sign a ticket.
Up next is my favorite line from this entire video.
I feel like I should have gone ahead and gone to law school instead of majored in pre-law and political science, so that I'd know if I had the right to sign a ticket or not.
You don't even know if you have the right to sign the ticket or not, yet you're insisting to the officer that you don't have to sign the ticket, and then he's informing you that if you don't sign the ticket, you will be arrested. That should hint to you that you're required to sign the ticket. But yet you're going on this 11-minute fucking long video claiming that this stemmed from the fact that he bullied you into signing a ticket that you claim you didn't have to sign, and you don't even fucking know if you have the right to sign it or not. That line itself contradicted everything that you're crying about.
Why would you threaten? Why would you have to pull me out of the car? I never said I wouldn't have stepped out of the car willingly.
Again, he didn't say he would pull you out of the car. He said,
if you refuse to sign the summons at this point, I'm gonna have to get you outside of the police car, outside of this car. I'm gonna place you under arrest.
Which means that he will start by asking you to get out of the car, and then he will pull you out of the car only if you refuse to get out of the car on the first few commands. Which, due to the belligerence you displayed earlier with simply not wanting to sign a ticket, I can see why he's suspicious that you won't step out of the car voluntarily.
And he just walked off, the bully that he was, proudly, happily, like he had accomplished something by degrading me as an African American, as a citizen.
You're just piling on the victim points here, aren't you? He wasn't walking away all smug because he degraded an African American woman. He was walking away happy that he didn't have to yank your ass out of the car and arrest you for being belligerent. Contrary to popular belief, cops don't always want to arrest people. And contrary to your belief, they're not out there to specifically target and arrest black people just because they're black.
And I was in the middle of areas where I know there were tons of slaves. I was in the middle of areas where there were open fields of plowed areas.
My God, you are reaching for victim points like Michael Jordan reaching for the last basket in Space Jam.
I just wish I knew what we could do about this.
And here's Jim Carrey with the answer.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
But I will make a complaint, and file a complaint, because I'm not going to pay that ticket.
I would pay big money to see the face of the cops when they get that complaint, and I would pay the same amount of money to see the judge's face when you try to plead innocent to this case.
That is racist, and this happens every single day, and I am so tired of it.
Write that new rule down, everybody. It is now racist to hold black women accountable to the law. But I'm gonna stop the video there. I already cut out quite a bit of the original video because she repeats herself a lot throughout that 11-minute video. However, I linked both the original video and the police dashcam video in the description. You can watch each one of them in their entirety, if you feel the need. Now, the reason I decided to respond to that video, even though releasing the body cam footage pretty much put that woman to shame and put her in her place, is because this is an ongoing trend right now. I've seen at least 3 stories since this one came out about a black person that got pulled over by the cops, tried to pull the race card to get out of the ticket, but then the body cam footage was released and proved that the cop did the right thing and was not racist at all. Now, I'm not going to deny that some racism still exists, and I'm not going to deny that some cops may be racist. But claiming racism in something as stupid as this is not helping this idea that all cops are racist. It's actually proving that that narrative is completely fucking false. Just obey the law, obey the officer's rules when he pulls you over, and you will have no problems. It is that simple. No matter what your race. Anyway, that'll do it for this week's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the little bell because YouTube doesn't like to let anybody know what I'm doing here. You can follow me on Twitter at hey_dude77. I got a Discord which should be linked below. And I will see you all next week. Catch you later.